Have you ever caught yourself thinking, why didn't someone tell me this sooner? Especially about things we don't talk about openly, things like masturbation, sexual health, and how they change as you get older. Maybe you've noticed little shifts in your body or mood, or even in the way you feel about yourself, but brushed them off like they were no big deal. Or maybe you've seen an older man close to you struggling quietly, wrestling with feelings or problems he's too embarrassed to bring up. It's one of those silent conversations we rarely have, isn't it? You know, the kind that's easy to ignore until it suddenly hits hard. You might have heard stories or jokes, but the real truth, the secrets that most older men wish they knew years ago, those stay hidden. And that silence? It can leave a lot of regret, confusion, and sometimes even health problems that could have been prevented. Here's the thing, these secrets around masturbation and sexual health are not just awkward taboos. They are important keys. Keys to staying physically healthy, feeling confident, and having peace of mind as you age. Because as men grow older, their bodies change, their energy shifts, and how they care for themselves needs to change too. Knowing these truths earlier? It can transform how you feel, not just in your body, but deep down in your spirit. Today, I'm going to share some surprising insights and warnings that so many older men wish someone had told them long before they started facing those tough challenges. Things that can help improve quality of life, avoid common mistakes, and bring back a sense of control and dignity. So, if you're ready to uncover these hidden truths, if you want to better understand your body or help an older man you care about, drop a comment below and say, I'm here. And don't forget to hit subscribe on Elders Wisdom Institute, where we bring you honest, life-changing advice for aging well and living fully. Because this conversation, it's one you won't want to miss. Let's start with something many men believe, that masturbation is completely harmless, no matter how often or how it's done. But that's not always true. Take John, for example. He's 68 years old and thought, like a lot of guys do, that as long as it felt good, it couldn't hurt. So, he kept at it every day, not paying much attention to how his body was reacting. Over time, he began to notice something subtle, discomfort, a bit of soreness, and even a drop in his usual energy. At first, he shrugged it off, thinking it was just part of getting older. But those little signs were actually warnings his body was sending. You see, masturbation in itself isn't bad. In fact, it can be part of a healthy sexual life at any age. But like anything, when it's done too frequently or with too much force, it can lead to problems. It might cause irritation in sensitive areas, aggravate the prostate, or even affect your hormone balance, things you definitely don't want happening. The tricky part is, many men fall into thinking masturbation is either always good or always bad. It's not black and white. What really matters is balance, paying attention, and being aware of how your body feels before, during, and after. So what's the practical takeaway here? Listen to your body. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Adjust how often you masturbate, and be gentle with yourself. Using less pressure or changing your technique can prevent discomfort and protect your health in the long run. And it's not just about how often you do it, it's also about when you do it. Especially if you're on medications or managing other health conditions, timing can make a big difference. Next, we'll explore how these habits connect deeply with your prostate health, something every older man needs to understand. Now, let's talk about something many men don't give enough attention to until it's too late, prostate health. Imagine Robert, a man in his early 70s. For years, he thought masturbation was just a personal habit with no real connection to his overall health, especially not to his prostate. He never discussed it with his doctor or thought it could be important. Then, out of nowhere, he began experiencing painful symptoms, difficulty urinating, discomfort, and that heavy, nagging feeling in his lower abdomen. What Robert didn't realize is that regular ejaculation, whether through sex or masturbation, can actually support prostate health by helping to clear fluids from the gland. This flushing action may reduce the risk of inflammation and some prostate-related issues. But here's the catch. As men age, the prostate naturally enlarges, and this changes how everything works down there. The problem is that many don't see how their sexual health habits are tied into this process. They either ignore the role these habits play or assume they have no effect at all. That's a big misconception. Masturbation isn't just a private pleasure, it's part of a complex system that can influence prostate health, for better or worse. So what's the best way to handle this? First, make it a point to discuss your prostate health openly with your doctor. Regular checkups, including screenings, are essential as you get older. And balance is key. Masturbation can be helpful but shouldn't replace medical advice or care. It's about finding the right rhythm that supports your health, not just your habits. Understanding this connection is vital, but it's not the whole story. Because these habits don't just affect your prostate. They also influence something you might not expect, your sleep and mood. And those two are pillars of well-being that often decline as we age. Coming up, we'll dive into how masturbation can impact your nights and your rest, and what you can do to keep both in balance. Let's move on to something that hits close to home for many older men, how masturbation affects your sleep. Take George, for example. He's in his late 60s and noticed a pattern. On nights when he masturbated late, especially right before trying to fall asleep, his rest was restless and shorter than usual. He'd wake up feeling tired and groggy, but he never really connected the dots to his nighttime routine. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. When you masturbate, your body releases hormones like prolactin and oxytocin. These chemicals can promote feelings of relaxation and calm, which is why masturbation is often thought to help with falling asleep. But, and this is important, timing plays a big role. For some men, especially as they get older and their bodies change, masturbating too close to bedtime can actually disrupt natural sleep cycles. You see, the body's internal clock, or circadian rhythm, governs when you feel alert and when you feel sleepy. If you stimulate your body at the wrong time, it can throw this rhythm off, making it harder to get deep, restorative sleep. One of the biggest mistakes older men make is assuming that masturbation will always help them sleep better, no matter when they do it. But in reality, if your body is sensitive, doing it right before bed might keep you from falling asleep easily or cause lighter, fragmented sleep. The best advice here? Pay close attention to your own body. Try adjusting the timing, maybe masturbate earlier in the evening and see how your sleep improves. Everyone's different, so this is about experimenting and listening carefully to the signals your body sends. And while sleep and physical health are essential, there's another side to this habit that often gets overlooked, the emotional and psychological effects, especially as men grow older. That's what we'll explore next. Now, let's talk about something that doesn't get discussed nearly enough but affects so many older men. How masturbation can stir up deep emotional and psychological feelings like guilt, shame, and loneliness. It's more common than you might think. Many elderly men carry this hidden burden, often silently. They might feel ashamed of their desires or guilty about their habits because of the messages they grew up with or the culture around them. This shame doesn't just sit quietly, it can seep into their mental health and even damage their relationships. Imagine feeling like something natural is wrong or embarrassing. Day after day, that weight can build up, leading to anxiety, depression, or a sense of being completely alone in what they're experiencing. This emotional distress is largely driven by cultural stigma. Society tends to send the message that older men shouldn't have sexual desires or habits. The truth is, those desires don't just vanish with age. But when men feel judged or misunderstood, it creates a barrier. A wall that makes it harder for them to reach out or talk about what they're going through. That misunderstanding fuels a lot of unnecessary suffering. It's why many older men keep these feelings locked away, rather than sharing with someone they trust. Here's the important part, the way forward is through openness. Normalizing these conversations, whether it's with a trusted family member, a close friend, or a healthcare provider, can reduce the stigma and lighten that emotional load. When you speak openly about your feelings and experiences, you're not just helping yourself, you're paving the way for others to feel less isolated, too. And once you've started to untangle these emotional threads, you can better understand how masturbation relates to your overall vitality and energy levels, something we'll cover next. This connection can truly be a game changer in how you approach your health and well-being as you age. Finally, let's dive into how masturbation can actually influence your energy levels and overall physical vitality, something that often surprises older men. Take Frank's story. He started noticing that after some sessions, especially when he was feeling already tired, his energy seemed to dip more than usual. He didn't understand why his body was reacting this way, and it left him feeling frustrated and confused. Here's what's really going on. Masturbation affects several key systems in your body. It influences hormone levels like testosterone and dopamine, which play huge roles in your stamina and mood. It also impacts your nervous system balance, meaning how your body manages stress and relaxation, and affects blood flow, which is crucial for physical vitality. But not all sessions are the same. Some can actually drain your energy, especially if done excessively or without paying attention to how your body feels. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking more is better, but with something this personal and tied to your health, mindfulness matters. The best approach? Practice moderation. Listen to your body's signals and avoid pushing yourself beyond what feels right. And remember, masturbation is just one part of a bigger picture when it comes to vitality. Pairing it with healthy habits, like regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and good sleep, can make a huge difference in how energized you feel day to day. These secrets might seem a lot to take in at once. It can feel overwhelming, maybe even confusing. But here's the good news, understanding these truths gives you power. Power to make informed choices that support your health, your confidence, and your quality of life. When you know what's really going on beneath the surface, you're not just reacting, you're taking control. And that's the heart of what Elders Wisdom Institute is all about, helping you live your later years with strength, clarity, and dignity. Talking about masturbation openly isn't easy, especially for older men who grew up in times when these topics were wrapped in silence, shame, or embarrassment. Many have carried those feelings quietly for decades, believing it's something to hide or be ashamed of. But here's the hard truth, ignoring these realities doesn't protect you. Instead, it can lead to unnecessary pain, confusion, and even regret down the line. When you choose to face these topics honestly, you break free from the cycle of shame. You start to see masturbation not as something taboo, but as a natural part of your health and well-being, a part that deserves respect and understanding. This shift isn't just about physical health, it's about reclaiming your confidence, your dignity, and your peace of mind. Instead of letting fear or embarrassment hold you back, these insights give you the tools to take control. They help you embrace your natural needs in a way that supports your body and mind, with dignity and self-respect. It's about making choices that feel right for you, choices that improve your overall quality of life. If you recognize any of the challenges or feelings we've talked about today, whether for yourself or someone you care about, let this knowledge be the first step. The first step toward healthier habits, more open conversations, and a better understanding of your own body and emotions. And remember, no matter your age, it's never too late to learn, to adapt, or to improve. The journey toward better health, deeper self-respect, and greater peace is always worth taking. Every step forward matters, and you're not alone on this path. You have the power to change how you feel, both physically and emotionally, starting today. To wrap things up, let's take a moment to recap what we've uncovered today. We explored 5 important secrets that many older men wish they'd known much earlier: the importance of balancing how often and how you masturbate, the connection between masturbation and prostate health, how these habits can affect your sleep quality, the emotional and psychological impact, things like guilt and loneliness, and finally, how masturbation ties into your energy levels and overall vitality. Each of these pieces plays a crucial role in how you feel physically and emotionally as you age. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you or someone you care about noticed any of these signs or struggles? Maybe some of this resonates deeply, or perhaps you've faced challenges we didn't touch on today. Whatever your experience, please share your thoughts or stories down in the comments. Your voice matters. And by opening up, you help create a community where others can feel less alone, less misunderstood. If this video has opened your eyes or given you a new perspective, I encourage you to subscribe to Elders Wisdom Institute. Here, we're committed to sharing compassionate insights and practical support for aging well, helping you or your loved ones live these years with confidence, dignity, and peace. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Remember to stay curious, be kind to yourself, and take every step forward with intention. I'm looking forward to exploring more life lessons together in the next video. Take care until then.